How can I tell if I have qualified prospects? There are 5 answers you have to know. One of them is, what is the timeline that the customer is using to make a decision? This is one of the 5 things, and this is what I'm talking about in this video right here. If you like the content, subscribe to it and listen in every Monday as I launch a new video. Okay, what is the timeline? Now think about this for a moment. If the customer does not have a timeline with which to make a decision, you know what the predominant decision they will make is? It's no decision, because there's nothing forcing them to make a decision. It's your job to understand what is the timeline that they're working on. Now, their timeline might be an existing contract that is getting ready to expire. Their timeline might be the fact that they have to make a change due to other changes going on. There may be other external factors that are forcing them to make a decision. You have to understand what that is. And one of the best ways to know this, if you cannot find this out through research you've been able to garner that says, okay, that you know this contract is expiring, or you know something's changing, you know they're building a new plant, something of that nature. What you do is you ask them this question. This is your money question. What's your timeline for making a decision? Don't hesitate in asking that question during the prospecting call. Here's why. You've got to be able to smoke them out, because if they can't give you a timeline for making a decision, chances are the decision they're going to make is, well, they don't have to make a decision. And what happens is they wind up going through the process because they're gaining information from you. They're feeling comfortable. They're using you. But it's not helping you, because all you're doing is wasting your time. You see, you want to be focused with your time on those prospects, those customers that have the greatest potential to close now. So this is why I say, I've got to find out what that timeline is. Now, here's what you do. You ask this question early on, and they may give you some information that you feel solid about or not solid about. It's the follow-up question. Now, you know I talk about this a lot, the follow-up question, but here's where it gets really interesting. What you want to do is you may have this initial call, and then you're going to come back and have a more in-depth discovery call. You want to make sure that you bring up this timeline again. Now, you mentioned in the previous call that you needed to make a decision within 90 days. Can you share some more insight on that? You see, what I'm doing is I'm coming back to what they shared with me, and I'm going to keep coming back to them in subsequent calls I have with them, subsequent meetings I have with them. Here's why. Here's what happens. What happens is you're going to be able to smoke out from them as to whether or not this is legit. Because if it's legit, they're going to continue to add more credence to it. They're going to add more. They're going to add to it. And you know what? It's interesting. When they add more to it, that timeline for making a decision becomes more valuable to them. You see, what you're doing is you're now increasing the importance of them having the conversation with you, because you're talking to them about their timeline. Now, if they don't have a timeline, what they gave you is just smoke, garbage, then it's going to come out, well, you know, we're really not going to see. Now, what do I begin? I begin to understand how and where and when I need to focus my attention on you, the prospect. Because here's the whole thing. If you don't have a timeline and there's no critical need of pain or gain that I can ascertain, then what makes me think you're going to make a decision? There isn't. So what I may do is I'm going to move you to a different sales pipeline. Now, you notice I said different sales pipeline. This is key, because I really firmly believe you have to have multiple sales pipelines. Now, one is your pipeline, which is your most current, most highest potential. These are the ones that are going to close now. You see, but you don't want that prospect in that funnel. You want to move them over to another funnel. And that other funnel is not going to use your time. That other funnel is just information that you may share with them as time is available. You may hit them with marketing pieces. You may hit them with other things, but you're not going to allow your valuable selling time. You see, this is key. Knowing the customer's timeline is absolutely critical, because it's going to tell you whether to accelerate, decelerate, and more importantly, when you understand their timeline, the more I can get them to focus on it, it's amazing how much more important it becomes for them to close the deal and close the deal now. Hey, I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. This is another prospecting video. If you like it, click it. And hey, go down below because I've got a great ebook I want you to grab right now. Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.